Hallelujah. You cannot switch the supernatural on without the help of the Spirit. Many of us, we don't know we are worshiping idols, and we are looking for idols. We think it's an image. It's the phone you have. Because if you cannot give Jesus his space and you have your mind divided, you will not see the face of the Lord. When God is about to lift you, there are some things around that may not look good, but he's working everything out for our good. David said, I will bless the Lord at all times. The reason why the repetition of evil is in your family is because you don't want to suffer, and no one exchanged destiny while playing. Destiny is exchanged on the altar of tears, sweat, blood, and prayers. Because life, if it must give you space, you must demand. There are many of us that are seeking God, and the only reason why we are seeking God because we want to use God. I never seen the person who is friendly with you because they are using you. Okay, maybe you are not being a situation, you are not living long yet, or you are not living a life where you are entangled or being surrounded by different kind of people. Every man's life has some ups and downs, and God will intentionally allow certain friends in your life, whether you like it or not, so that they can teach you some hard lessons that you learn going forward. Now, as a child of God, you are not mature until you begin to experience certain things in life. I give an example. We had a private discussion. This one father came on CBC. They were closing a spiritual emphasis. So we in the car, I don't want to hear and my wife, we drive me, and then he always said this, when you get going, you never get attack you. So when he said that, he would take me getting angry because if you want to learn, be quiet. If I have some experience you not have, it does not mean I'm worse or you are better. It just means that when God is taking a different form, my journey is different from yours. I can be going silently, and you can be going, or what you call the place name, or calmly. There are two distances, but there's a difference. One is shorter, one is far beyond. Or I can be called to throw a family burden, and you can be called to eat the family burden, or to eat for the family benefit. So our responsibility to be what? Different. The person that is throwing the family burden has a lot of responsibility because they have to keep the family together. Okay. The one that is eating the family burden has no responsibility there to be a recipient of whatever that is generated. So it's not the same. God gave men responsibility based on the assignment he has given you. And one thing about God is that he will never give you something that you have not gotten the full value of what it is. It does not mean that God will do business with you by giving you punishment. But most of the time, if you must be somebody that can help people when they are hungry, most of the time God will take you through hunger. So that when you try to bless that person, you are using the cost them to say you're not lazy of it, but you will feel the way you felt before when you were hungry. So once I'm hungry, you will do everything to be able to bless them. In Jesus' mighty name. Why is it so? It is so because God does those things so men not take pride in God's provision. Now we look at the story of a man called Joseph. His brethren, his not one side of his brothers, his father's children, his own blood. What did they do? They sold him to slavery. Now, from the beginning, if Joseph had gone to Egypt and became rich immediately, and he would have come, the hatred would have still been in his heart, he would have harmed them. So what happened? God took him to a long time. A long time. He was around 16, 17 years when the brethren sold him to slavery. The next time they met him was a very important part of his years. He was 40 years. So for 3 years in his life, he was going through stress and he was being good and bad and was up and down. Why did God do so? God did that because he wanted Joseph to become a provider. But you're also teaching this man that will be a provider to learn how to love people in spite of what they will do to you. So what did he do? He took him in Potiphar's house and took slavery from him. He became the head of the house. But meanwhile, God's destination was not to be head of the house, but be head of a nation. So if you are staying in Potiphar's house, you will not become who God fully called you to become. There are some of us life like that. Sometimes a lot good, then we feel satisfied, we get settled, and then everything starts to break around us. Then the next time we get on the next journey again to see God. So from Potiphar's house, the next day he led them was in the prison. In the prison, he met 2 men, and being so years with them in the prison, he interpreted their dream. But the first time, Joseph was a man who was always dreaming, but he never had the ability to interpret dream. Sometimes God transitions us through processes to remind us of who we are. He dreamed, he told the dream to his father.
The reason why he told the dream to his father the first time he dreamed was because he never had the ability to interpret dreams. So when his father showed him, or when the father saw the symbols in his dream, that was he kept it in his heart. Because why? He was protecting Joseph. The little Joseph knew that his father was doing good for him by not telling him what was happening around him. Fast forward, he got to know who he was. He started boasting about his brother. And then the more painful part, he was with the father. His brothers were working. But when he goes there, you kind of, and God said, Papa, the other time, our brother, yesterday, the other one, well, not mine. So every time the brothers come, the father say, "Oh, this," and the Bible said they knew that Joseph was the one to be there. So that if you're already there, then the father go put the coat of any color on him. After he had given the brother back and said, the guy, how about him? They just thought that we head over the house. Meanwhile, God was preparing to be head over nations. Now the reason why I'm speaking all of these things is because there are people in your life that you were meant to bless. But in order for you to bless them, you have to go through process. Because if you are not process, you cannot possess. Because if you possess, you will leave it. Oh my God. When you are not process, you cannot possess. There are many of you right now are victim of your past. There are certain money that later in your hand. The sins you get now, they add them together, you add them back, then you make good use of that money. But again, because you're not processed, so you do not process. Even though the money landed when the insurance is that pass through your head, you don't really know how to use it. Because in your experience as you are now, you have put it into better use, and by this time you have regret it. I don't know what it is for you, I'm saying some things. But somebody now money for you, it was a relationship. And that very person was everything to you. But out of the youthfulness, you are abusing their love for you and making fun out of them. Until they let you know that, I think I made a mistake. Even though you may not have admitted to everybody, but you know that you did something that was not right. It was the sin with Joseph. So he got in prison. Right? Then he interpreted dreams. What was God making to interpret dreams? And the dream he interpreted, he saw that everything he said came to pass. God was doing that to remind you that the dream you have in your father is still alive. It just have to take time to manifest. If you can interpret what people dream is happening, don't think that your dream is dead. But there's something about this dream. If it must be fulfilled, then you have to seek me. But not just seek me, you have to seek me with all your heart. Amen. So if you must seek him with all your heart, one thing is that heart that is seeking him must be clean. Because God said in the book of 1 Samuel chapter 16, when he was dealing with the house of Jesse, the sons of Jesse, when he sent the prophet Samuel to anoint him a king. When Samuel entered the house of Jesse and in Bethlehem, Judah, the Lord said to him, anoint one of the sons. He did not know which one of them. The man had 8 sons. 7 sons of president, the Lord said, go and anoint for me a king. And by reason of Samuel being an Israelite, he suggested or he surmised, that is to say that he came to the conclusion in his mind that probably or possibly the firstborn would be the king. Because Israel, you don't put first, but the first always take double or possession of the father's inheritance. That's why you saw Jacob took double portion of the blessings of Isaac. So he knew that process, and he being a prophet, when he saw Jesse's first son called Eliab, he said, this is the Lord's anointed. Then the Lord said to him, Samuel, you are in error. I do not see as men see. For men will look at the outward appearance and be confused. But I see. Now the reason why God said, search for me and you'll find me with all your heart is because your heart will determine why I will seek you for. Now your face. People can walk with you, yet they are not in love with you, but they are pretending because they get something from you. So when the person heart is open, you can know their true intention. Even Judah has never walked with Jesus, but he had a different heart. So he said, when you seek me, you will find me. I'm not hating, but the prerequisite, you must seek me what? All your heart. You must seek me what? All your heart. Joseph had his brothers waiting to come. God will create a situation that will get hungry. But God will not create a situation now until Joseph's heart is clear. So Joseph is in prison. He's interpreting the dream. The boys Get out. Just when you told God that he will kill you, you want to restore you to your position. It happened. But when they got time to get out, Joseph said, brothers, I beg you, and I still not in here. The reason why they put me here, I'm not guilty of it. Just to me once, I don't want money from you. Just tell the king that you're born in there. Who did not do any wrong? Yes, he did crazy. Tell the king I'm here, I'm suffering for things I did not do. The guy went on, he forgot. Now I'm teaching you something. Why must you seek God before you have? His brothers sold him as what? Slave. In our first name, 45 went lie on him. They made him to be prisoner. And I said, Bobby, he helped a man. The man forgot. I want to be. There are many of you here that are hurt. Because somebody did something to you and you vow, you say, I will never let go. Are you ready to see God? Are you ready to see God? Yes. It begins with your heart there. That still had that thing that they did to you. That uncle went to get beat you for nothing and lie with you. That auntie went to get taken care of her clearing and family you give her your master in the morning. That thing is taken from your heart. And you must see God. Those things must be detoxed, must be brought out of your heart today. Some of you, your doors have been open long time, but you can't step. Very thing you want to step in and say, God, she can't present that person. See your heart. She's still carrying that thing that person did to her in her heart. And you say, you will not bless people that had that thing. How can you want to bless her? Then your blessing will go back. And you think that the Satan is so strong, no, you are the one holding husband. The Bible says, after all those things that happened to him, all those things that happened to him, what next was? The king had a problem. You know why the king had a problem? Because Joseph had learned that you don't depend on man, you depend on God. I will prove to you in the scripture why it is so. The Bible says, and the Lord favored Joseph, even in the midst of the prison, he made him the head of the prisoner. God cannot elevate the man that has acting. And the reason why God kept elevating him, because every time he saw men worse, he didn't know that the more men are wicked, the more is the proof of the job to God. And not to believe in him. Because if you believe in him, you get disappointed every day of your life. That's why I come to the place to realize that no matter what God do to me now, again, sometimes you can get moving, but just for a short time, I'm done with it. Because you will still find him being around. And the more you find him being around, you still find hypocrites. People that pretend to be good, they are not good. The more you still living, the more you want to go higher, you still be a lot of people around the now that want to use you and dump you. You still need people that want to profit on your life and benefit from you, but people that don't love you. You still need people that will be praising you, but meanwhile they're saying, no, I get off my place and you talk. You still need people that will act and say, they will die for you, but when time comes, the people will run away. So as long as you're alive as a child of God, that your heart must be open to let things go. Because if you keep keeping every wicked person in your heart, you have no space to love God. Purify my heart. Now we make my heart like you. One of my best songs, not just from abroad, in the world, because the song means a lot. I can't do it, but say, help me. Now we make my heart like yours. How deep like mine. Can you look what's been help me consecrate, purify my heart, that He make my heart like yours. How deep like myself, baby. Help me consecrate just for you, just for you. My heart is just for you, just for you, oh, just for you. My heart is just for you. Listen to me. People will hurt you. Sometimes it's not there. Sometimes it is God's own way to prove if your heart is ready for your lifting. Why must you keep yourself down the ladder? And there's a space on top for you. Why must you hold somebody for a long time? And when there's a place in destiny that people can celebrate you. Listen to me. And the man I've seen a lot of people have trusted my whole life that I swear the angels have to be. And God told me go to them and befriend them. Don't, he said, I'll be looking at your heart if you pretend to them. He said, you don't like you pretend to me. You have to bring out of God, no, it's not you. Say that to me. And you remind me sometimes, you know what it takes for a man to die for you. And you choose to disobey him. And love the things that make him to die for you. Well, I don't understand, it's too deep for you. I think every one story, I got many stories. Thank God for giving me a lot of stories to go through so that I can be on teaching book. I had a girlfriend I used to love so much. Yeah, I used to work with the Joseph PC most of the time. I made a lot of money. Every time after work, that I was doing double sides, right? I had a relationship with my husband. And the reason why I came was because she didn't do anything wrong to me. She would like me, and then my wife, my girlfriend back then, abandoned me for another guy. So she came to she wiped my tears. But then I didn't know the destiny that I happened to be together. So I hold together, and then all of a sudden I just saw myself going back to that person. So I made a promise where I said, as long as I'm alive and working, making money, I'll keep helping you. So I was always going there to drop things for her. So sometimes when I go to the supermarket, Mono Prince, I would follow the ground. I have partnership with the direct. So I would follow the bags. Now, carry some of my drop things. Oh, yeah. They never come in there. Oh, meanwhile, listen, the things I would bring did not really cost much. She needed my love and the things. And I couldn't afford to give her my love because I had a relationship. So the things did not mean anything to us. She wanted affection in that things. The minute you discover saying you want things, you now want no relationship. So she was always grieving, so it was hurting me, but I could not get to her. So there was a time, like every time I thought I was going to she just said, but the more she was hurting me, talking about I would not go there, I would stay with what I have followed you with my boss. The more you hurt me, instead of you, I go close on you. And yet you can't pass me, you can't stand for to say it's beautiful. You go into the next person. So we just make God look like a golf, like sometimes you never get money. So you get trying, but they're too long. And God sees the heart. That's how we've been treating God. He said, forget that person, they didn't have it as big. He said, no, someone bring up more of somebody like full up. It's full of one bed. Guess my guess so one time bed full of bed. But all the two beds closed, so all they are looking for with all money, you didn't have any money in it. Meanwhile, the one are looking, you need that more. So no, see bill. God is saying to you, what I need from you is not the work, I just need your heart. If you give me your heart, there's nothing I cannot give you. There's nothing I cannot do for you. He said, no. The way I get told to me, Papa, I will not forget it, God, I know you understand, but we'll put God on one side. The day he said that thing was a sin against God. It means that in all your love for me, I still don't regard it, I put it out of my life. I will put God on one side. Every time you make that statement, you are saying, God, you are nothing to me. So I'm a fool, baby. I will care. I will go to medicine. We will put a Christian here. We will put this God business one side. You are telling God you don't need to be on one side. I put you one side. It's an insult to the entire of God. And some of the things you don't call a fool. Somebody that won't dress your leg, he loves so much, and someone stole it, or your friend wrote it, in fact, insulting. And all the time he said, no, she won't want to ask him how you are insulting. They come in one side, I will show you who I am. For clothes, just for clothes. Somebody that was fool. Now that fool is sport, you don't need it anymore. But God has stepped in there. He said, we'll put in one side. My fool, you can't play with him. You know how someone. Who told you to suffer again? That the things God will give you is bigger than food. So when you just in the moment, then I take the woman off because your man, then I'm out for you. I'm not saying that I will tell you sorry to go home. It's meditation. It's not fun, but some of them just how we are. Don't go over there or go. You're like, I'm not here nowadays. It's not true. If fire burned your parents, and it's not even when the fire doesn't mean to burn you. If someone made a mistake before and they see that mistake coming, they can stop you and mean that they love you. I want to pray for people here. I feel they say to the message today. He said no. He said some things, and I found myself in it. I want to beg you. Now listen, conscious decisions should not be made when they're begging you. Once you know you are part of those things you find yourself in, that's what I call willful acceptance. We are when they come say yes. You are talking to me. I want God to change my heart from this. The door is open for you.